Now joining me in studio to discuss their upcoming show with Blast, actor playing Matt Damon, Alana Rose Wallenstein, and actor playing Ben Affleck, Kylie Thetka. Hi guys, how you doing today?
Doing really well.
Good.
Thanks so much for having us.
Good, yeah. So I know a little bit about it, but for people that might not know, tell me a little bit about Blast.
Sure, yeah. Blast is the bold local artists of the Southern Tier, and they're located at the Cider Mill Stage. So if you know where the Cider Mill is, you know where the Cider Mill Stage is in Endicott. And Blast formed, just a couple years ago, I believe after the pandemic happened, and they've been going really strong ever since. This is the first season where we're doing 8 productions instead of just 6. So expanding a little bit. Yeah, it's super exciting.
And how long have you guys been with Blast?
I first auditioned, I think last year, which it feels like a lot longer. And so, yeah, I'm from Ithaca, and I found this amazing theater community here in this area. There's like a lot of opportunities, and I just love the people at Cider Mill Stage. It's been a lot of fun. I've been in 3, this is my 3rd show, and it's just always such a great team, such a great pool of talent. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We do have a great arts community around here and the theater as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, how long have you been with Blast?
Yeah, honestly, around the same time. I auditioned for their season a year ago, 2 years ago, and then I got the opportunity to act, and then I also got the opportunity to direct with Blast, which was really cool. So
that's cool that you can kind of do it all too. That's
it's really awesome. They give so many opportunities to so many people. I love their organization.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this show. This is very different than anything I've kind of had on. So tell me about this show a little bit.
Yeah, it's a weird, fun, quirky little show. It was written by Mindy Kaling and Brenda Withers. Mindy Kaling, you probably know from The Office. She wrote for The Office and acted, and this was kind of her start in comedy writing. And so it's a 2-man show about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and the way that I've been pitching it to people is you kind of saw, I think in the 1990s, early 2000s, Mindy and Brenda, the writers, were watching Matt and Ben. They were everywhere, right? And they're these kind of goofy guys, and they don't necessarily like read as the people who would write one of the most brilliant screenplays of all time, Good Will Hunting. And so I think they thought to themselves, how did these 2 guys write the most brilliant screenplay? You know what? They didn't. It fell from the sky. And so that's the concept of the show, is like at the beginning, the script falls from the sky, and then these 2 guys, these young guys are trying to figure out what to do with this script, and it's a lot about friendship. It's a really funny show, and of course we're playing men, which is also fun because we get to kind of comment, not like in a really subtle way, about masculinity and how guys sit and talk. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that more too, because playing a man, how has it been? Was it kind of challenging, or was it really fun? Tell me about that experience.
Definitely fun.
Yeah.
Definitely fun.
Yeah.
Because the way that Rob Egan, our director, he really wanted us to play it up as much as possible, really lean into it. If you feel like you're being too silly, no, you're not. Go even further. So the commentating on masculinity and how silly it can be sometimes has just been so much fun. And watching a lot of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck from the 90s has been, I'm not complaining. So yeah, that's been really fun.
Do you guys think that you guys play the parts like would you rather swap? Would you ever want to try swapping, or do you guys think that you're kind of perfectly fit with your parts?
Both,
for sure.
Oh my gosh, I don't think we should be playing the other person, but I think it would be so fun to do a rehearsal where we did. Like, that would be so fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, I think, like, to see. At first I was like a little wary because Ben is definitely in a comedy duo. There's like the funny man and the straight man, and I think Ben is definitely the funny man, which is the part that I'm more used to playing. But as I've gotten to do this, I feel like I really relate with the character of Matt, and of course they're like, it's a kind of satire. It's not supposed to be like an SNL impression. It's the Mindy and Brenda's like interpretation of these guys, so they kind of fall into their own style. But I find a lot that I relate to in both characters, but I do think that Matt is kind of like this. He's always kind of worrying, and he's always trying to get a hold of Ben, and
the grounding
right
to Ben's like hot air balloon.
yeah. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, both roles are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I do find that I think we fit perfectly in our role. I think the casting was really well done and thoughtful.
Yeah, it looks really funny when I was watching some of the videos that you sent. You know, I feel like you guys embraced that perfectly and really got into it, you know.
Yeah.
And you guys look, you know, perfect for the role, your goofiness and like chillness, you know. I loved that.
Yeah.
So I want to ask too about kind of the setup, like being just a two-man show. Do you have a lot of moving parts with the setup and things like that?
Kind of. It's funny because the show takes place just over the course of one day. So nothing technically like spectacular has to happen during the show, but at the end of the show, everything has to be cleaned up, I guess is all I'll really say. Like by the end of the show, the stage has kind of transformed into something that it wasn't at the beginning. And yeah, and it that whole mess is just caused by the two of us.
Yes, yeah, it's a mess at the end. It's, you know, it's a mess to begin with because it's two, you know, young men living in an apartment. Well, it's
a
his
classic
apartment.
young man apartment.
Yes,
Let's
but
be
it
real.
definitely gets more and more. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. We were talking about, there's a lot of lines to learn. I think Rob Egan is the director, does a really good job. It's very easy to get stuck, you know, in one place. When it's just you're in an apartment, it's easy to get stuck on the couch. And he does a really great job of having us moving around, having us be physical, having us use the whole stage. There's not a bad seat in the house, you know. But that's like, you know, a lot to learn when it's just two people. But it's been a lot of fun, and you know, we support each other, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I feel like it would be so empowering to be able to do a two-man show, you know, and so many learning things, because it's a lot, you know, to learn. Has it kind of been hard to learn that much of a script?
It's daunting.
Yeah.
Daunting is the correct word. It's daunting.
Yeah. Like we've both done enough theater that we know how to memorize lines. Shout out to my husband for sitting there and reading the lines with me. It's a lot of work. But definitely when you just like sit there and look at the script and you think, oh my God, like there is so much to learn. How do I do this? But we're there. I mean, we're there. We know our lines, and you know, I missed a line the other day, and Kylie right in kind of helped me, you know, figure it out. So we're definitely in the show, and we know how to support each other, and
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great duo that you guys have, you know, going on. That's awesome.
Yeah,
well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on today. Really appreciate it, and best of luck, and have fun playing those roles. Seems
thank
like
you
fun.
so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
of course, guys. For those of you who might have missed those details, Blast Bold, local artists of the Southern Tier, is proud to present Matt and Ben by Mindy Kaling and Brenda Withers at Cider Mill Stage. This play explores the fictional origins of the friendship between Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, offering a comedic look at their rise to fame. The production will run from January 16th to January 20th, with performances at 7:30 p.m. nightly and a 2:30 p.m. matinee on Sunday. For more information and tickets, visit cidermillstage.com.